Forbes India presents M Connect, powered by Marmo Solution.
Welcome to M Connect, celebrating architectural excellence and innovation. This is a series dedicated to bringing you expert views from top architects. Today, we will discuss the theme, the Unbuilt Mind, as we explore the sketches that never saw construction, the ideas that stayed tucked away in notebooks, and the dreams that never made it to the site but changed everything anyway. Joining us is a remarkable panel. First up is Simran Boparai, the principal architect at Simran Boparai Architelier and co-founder Space 5 Architects, which is an architecture studio based in Gurgaon, Amritsar and Chandigarh, with a presence in over 20 states and 6 countries. We also have with us Manmeet Ahuja, who's the principal designer at Luxe. His design philosophy blends sophistication with grandeur as he transforms spaces into homes where beauty meets functionality. And finally, we have Rachna Aggarwal, the founder and design ideator of It's All About Design, or IAAD, a boutique interior architecture firm. She's also the co-founder of Zoera, a studio that curates furniture, art, and accessories. A big welcome to all of you on the show.
Thank you so much.
First up, before we get into the Unbuilt Mind, I want to know some of the projects that you've built that you're most proud of. We'll start with you, Simran.
So first of all, thank you so much for having us over. I would say that I love and embrace all the projects that I do, and I'm proud of all the work that I do. But to be specific and to highlight few of the projects that are very, very close to my heart and I'm super proud of. First, I would start with my own residence. That was the beginning point of my career. So when I designed my own residence, the kind of emotional connect, and apart from that, the kind of response that it got from everyone, I would say that it was the most important and the thing that laid the foundation for my entire architectural journey. Second on, I am also very proud of one of the biggest development that we are doing in around 25 acre for MGM Group in Hubballi, Karnataka. So that project, although it's been 3 years that we have been designing, going back and forth, a lot of hard work, but the amount of things that I learned has really shaped the way I think and design now. So I would say that's another project to be proud of, not just the scale, but also the design philosophy, the design language, how I amalgamated different forms, different designs, and how so much of research went in. And also the best part was my client, who has been hands-on and has been totally involved in the project. Third project that I am that I would like to mention is a religious institute. It's more like a farmhouse, but it is designed for the religious group in Karnal. It is yet another project which we are doing in 5 acre land. It's a whole lot of development in the Sikh religion, from the institute to the area for the Sangat to live. Like, it's a full religious complex which we are developing in Karnal. In Mandi Sahib is the name of the place. So that's another project that attaches me not only to my roots of my religion, but also how an architect can be versatile and design from not just what I'm known for, like neoclassical architecture, but from everything, be it religious, modern, contemporary. So I think that kind of helped me explore my own talent in every way possible. So I think these are the 3 projects that I would like to mention.
Very holistic also. Rachna, what about you?
Well, as a studio, we are proud of doing various typology of work. Like, from the onset, we have never been fixated upon, like, are we doing multiplexes? Are we doing schools? And what I would like to talk about are the projects that are there that basically are based in various typologies. The first one is a spa that we did. It's around 55,000 square feet spa that we did in Ashoka Hotel. Right, it was a very, very complex project because it actually is in the basement of the Ashoka. There was an existing spa out there. We collaborated with an international firm onto it to establish this spa. It's up and running. The second project is a school, it's an elementary school that we did for an IB curriculum for heritage schools. And this school did redefine the way a classroom concept is. So it was like, if you need 12 classrooms, there are 12 learning spaces that you have. It's not a classroom is no longer a set boundary. The third project, which is very, very special and is something, again, as some projects are very close to your heart, is an experience center we designed for a client, right? And it's sitting into almost like a forest that sits there. So it's an experience center and it's a show apartment. And for this, of course, it was special because I don't know how many times have we done layouts for this thing. Every time we would do the layouts, we will go and plot it. And we will realize, oh, one tree is getting cut. We would go back on our boards and start redesigning it. The fourth project is a small project. It's only like a 5,000 square feet of a sea-facing villa that we did on the CRZ line in Goa. Again, I think the projects which you love are also the projects where you've worked really hard. And it has taken too much pain to establish those projects. So it is a 5,000 square feet, but I think it took us 5 years to build that project. But yes, when I have stayed in that house and it gives me goosebumps, right? Not just because I've designed it, but it's just the aura of the space, what it gives to you. Yeah.
I think it's amazing. In your profession, you can literally see what you're proud of, right? Like, it is so tangible. Manmeet, what about you?
I cannot say that which is my best project and which I have done. I think so far I have delivered more than 500 personal spaces in last 2 decades. And currently I enjoy doing my studio, which has come out one of my favorite place where I can do myself my way. And besides that, I think the best is yet to come. And right now also we are doing one of the very prestigious project of a family, which is among the top 100 families of India they come into. And I cannot define in that way, but yes, my house is again a very beautiful place to be. Whenever you feel like living in London, you can come over to my house. You can get the same vibes. And it is all over the Facebook, Instagram, and heavily covered. Besides that, we have done a couple of schools, some retail outlets, a lot of jewelry showrooms. There was one showroom which we did in which the client had a strong belief for Vastu. And he bought the property keeping in mind that I've got a northeast entrance and then my room will be in southwest, and all those things were discussed. But when we went into the detail and another subject came into power, that Astro Vastu is doing something, a new technology these days. So the gentleman said, no, I want to have a room in the center of the showroom. So that was a very challenging area we could design. How you were able to create a gallery and became it's one of its own kind, where you find a showroom in which the director areas are all in the center and getting connected with both the spaces. So there sometimes you come up a lot of good challenging jobs. So keeping those things in mind, so we are enjoying our work every day and we're coming with, I think, best and best. There is no end to creativity, there is no end to imagination. But yes, it gives a feeling of a proud feeling to us, and then that's what we are doing.
That's amazing. Simran, tell me, of course you've built these amazing projects, but have there been projects that remain unbuilt but have really changed the way you design?
So yes, I feel that there are projects on which you have invested a lot of your time, effort, research, but somehow they don't really get built, and there are multiple reasons to it. At times it's the funds are not there. So if I remember one of the project that I did in the starting of my career, it was a cultural center which we were doing for a very small town in Rajasthan. So I was also, because it was the very initial years of my practice, I was so involved in the project. I was so involved with the local artisans. We were doing a lot of research, it was designed more on vernacular lines. So you can imagine the amount of effort that me along with my team took to shape that project. But unfortunately, due to the lack of funds, the project was called off. And yes, it was a big emotional stress also for me, but it kind of shaped me the way I think. So it was more like a turning point in my architectural journey. What I learned from that it's not mandate that whatever you design will break the ground, but you learn to like enjoy the process, the research, the learnings. That is what you take away with you. So as rightly said, that legacies are not always in concrete. They're also in sketches which are folded, lying on your table and waiting for the right time, the right instance to take shape. So yes, there was a project, but I totally enjoyed the process of it.
Rachna, do you also have a similar experience? Do you still mourn an unbuilt project?
Well, I like to answer this question with an example, right? When Studio IAD was born, and that was like in year of 2007, almost 18 years back, like our only passion was to design, right? Of course, like any architecture studio, the idea was like, we always wanted architectural project. Of course, interior architecture projects were good to have. At that point, it was like whatever you can do, but of course, it was clear where like every project has to be a design intensive project. So it happened like, in the first year, we were lucky to have these two projects. One was in a domain of interior architecture. It was a repurposing of a cloth mill in Delhi, right? And it had to be converted into an advertising workplace. The second one was a deemed project for us. It was an office building that we had to do. It was an architectural project. It was in the landmark location in Gurgaon, a very forthcoming client. Like everything that would go for a good project was there. But over the months, we realized that advertising office came on the ground, like, it was realized. We even got like lots of awards for it. While on the other hand, the office building, though we did, like I would say that it was so relevant to its time, like, it was ahead of its time. It didn't see the light of day, like, because like there were some land issues. We kept mourning, frankly, for 10 years. Like, it was just something which was like, you were so emotionally invested, right? And lots of projects were inbuilt in these 10 years. A lot of projects remained unbuilt, but there was something about that project, right, which will take you back, probably because we had the model of that building in our office and you would see it every day. But then after 10 years, like when you start seeing retrospectively, right, you realize that actually that one unbuilt project changed our trajectory, right? We had already established ourselves as an interior architecture studio. Most of our work, 95% of the work was in interior architecture domain. And at that point, we just like, let it go, right? Because like we were where we were and we were in a good space, right? Of course, even at this point, you want that someday that building will come to shape. Yes, so unbuilt projects can change your trajectory completely, define the way what you were, and I think the fun bit is in that you enjoy your design. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It just doesn't matter.
Enjoy the process, like
enjoy the process, enjoy the design, because every design is a process in itself.
Correct. Manmeet, do you also have a similar experience? Is there still a design that's still on your mind?
Yes, there are a lot of designs on my mind, but luckily I have not encountered any such incident. Because my design philosophy includes that, you see, I have a strong belief of a very small quote: the key to life is balance. You see, when you're designing a product, if it is not achievable, then I don't find that design apt. Ultimately, it has to have a realistic approach to it also. You have to study your materials well. You need to understand the budget provided by the client, what he is ready to accept. And we are not supposed to impose ourselves onto them. So that most of the time when I see, yes, this is supposed to be done. But then clients come up, sorry, this is beyond my pocket. What do I do? And I'm not a person who would like to break your FDs, get home loans and blah, blah, blah. No. So what is your budget? Let's discuss it before we start the design part. As per me, if you're looking for a good part, you need to shell out this much money. If you're not having that, then we are ready to move your way, but there will be no compromise onto the designs. We can play with different materials. So to me, if a product, I would say, or a project asks me an X requirement, if it is feasible, if my creativity skills is not compromised, then I will go all in. And till date, this is what I have always said. Yes, one project I left on my own because the wavelength didn't match. And to me, the temperamental nearness and the wavelength is a must, because ultimately you are working together. So I tell my client, I'm not behind you, I'm not ahead than you, I want to move along with you. So when you work as a team and make them as a team member, and then things become so easy and open and everything fall in line gradually. A client gave me a very beautiful line. I don't mind taking his name. He is Mr. Ashish Khetan. So there were time at my early age, so I was doing his house in Faridabad. So he said, Manmeet, will this be done? Yes, sir, done. So I had a habit that I don't want to make the client feel upset. I just want how I can accommodate his budget, yet not affecting those things. And he came with a simple thing. Manmeet, why are you taking so much stress? Make things simpler and take everybody in loop. So we are with you. जैसे हम यहाँ बैठे हैं तो आज की डेट में everybody wants to give a good product to the audience. So that is the aim. So let's all come together, and whenever we are able to reach each other well, and then when the dots get connected automatically.
So the power of collaboration is also very important.
Yes, and then when you open up with the client, he's all in. And that's what I enjoy also. Because I'm a person who likes to open up all the cards beforehand and then ask him to choose. So every time he will have 3 aces with him. He will never lose in life. So that's what I am.
That's a very good line. Simran, have you ever recycled an unbuilt idea into a new project?
Yes, absolutely. So I feel that there was once an idea that we were doing for a particular project that was designed on a courtyard typology basically. But somehow that unbuilt idea couldn't take place because of the project didn't really break the ground. So when I got the right time and I got a private residence for a client, we incorporated that idea into the project where we gave a courtyard that was the center and the most important focal point of the residence. So we came up with a beautiful, completely curved shape of a residence with a central courtyard. And although this idea was not typically for a residence, residences you see mostly are into a square or a rectangular shape, but the client was very much open to the idea. When I showed him the entire concept, he was totally drawn into that idea and how the entire house, now you go and see that house, that entire house runs into these circular aisles, the corridors, and they all overlook that particular courtyard. So the concept was not for a residence. The concept was for a commercial project. But somehow, due to the openness of the client, due to that he wanted a new design, we integrated it. Today, you walk into that residence in this curved aisle, you have this beautiful play of shadows. Because I kind of played with layering of courtyard at different levels. So when the light enters that house, it creates beautiful shadows on different floors. So you just imagine walking into a residence in the curved aisle with a pattern of shadows that change at different floors through light layering. So that was the concept and it worked really well in the residence. So yes, why not? There are ideas that you have done for some project, but they might suit, they might fit in the new project in a more welcoming way, I would say.
Right. Do you have a similar experience, Rachna?
I think like for us, repurposing of idea is not something that we have done. Right? Somehow you feel like, like that every project is very context specific, client specific, but yes, maybe there would be some opportunities for it. But I think repurposing of, like we have like, reused, we have design spaces wherein like for the same client and that project has changed places 3 times. And we have like, just because we want to be very energy, like, conscious and sustainability is very, very close to our heart. We have like, we have used the same furniture in multi-variety of ways in a way that like, people cannot say that it's the same thing that is getting used again and again.
So Manmeet, do you feel that some designs belong in the sketchbook? It's okay if they're not built as such?
I would like that every design does not necessarily to be released. Most of the time, if it's raw, if it's personal, it's yet to be conceived, you're yourself not confident how it will come out to be. So you see, a sketchbook is a place where it's your place, so there is no pressure. So end of the day, whatever you make, whatever you do, it belongs to you. And then every page does not need to be released. That's what I believe in. Besides that, it's all the timing. And anything which goes away from it will make it look weak or bad. Sometimes the design can be bold, sometimes the design can be raw, sometimes it can be, I would say, very simple. And then you have a client who doesn't want anything simple, he wants everything which is extravagant. So it has to be a right fit at a right place. So to me, I would say it's not what you serve, it's how you serve. So that's the principle which I have been following, and all these thoughts have been inculcated right from my childhood. And I like to experience those things before I put it into reality. All the pros and cons need to be worked out. So once you're 100% sure, yes, this is going to be best fitted, best suited, that is the time when you should release those things. Because anything which is, I would say, behind the schedule or ahead of the schedule, it will make things look weak.
Right. It's nice to have different opinions on the same subject. Before I let you all go, Simran, your message to young architects watching you today. Remember, the theme today is Unbuilt Mind. What is it that you'd like to take away from this?
See, my answer to, or my note to all the young architects is that follow your dreams, run behind them, give your 100%, and everything is achievable. Even if it's unbuilt, my message has always been that people should feel inspired, and also it should come from within. Designing is something you cannot really put into someone's head. It is a natural flair in you, but more than that, it is a lot of resilience, a lot of hard work that goes behind it. So yes, if you're young and passionate, then why not? The industry is waiting for you. Just take over it.
The industry is waiting for you. Rachna, your message?
Well, I feel that today's generation is trying to calculate too much. They want to know at every step what is going to be the next step. But design is not like that. Design is organic, design is passion, design is intuition, right? Design is all but not, your commercials can be calculated, but design, do not put calculation to it.
Right. Manmeet?
I would say imagination has no boundaries and there's no limits. So you can think whatever you want to do, but always make sure that you're grounded, you know your technicals well. So once you are 100% sure that I can deliver those things, then you should get into those things. You see, when I was at my starting of my career, I was given a line by my dad, reject the client before the client rejects you. So it was a very strong line, and at that age, I was not able to understand what it meant. But now I can simply say is that if your creativity is getting compromised, then don't take up that project. But make sure whatever you do should give you happiness, and it should give you a feel that this is me. This is I have designed that thing. So once you're 100% sure for it, go for it. So that I will follow. So unless you have a temperamental nearness, unless you have a same wavelength, don't step your shoes into it. And otherwise, make things all open.
Thank you all so much for those very, very important insights. Today, we were reminded that creativity isn't always measured by completion, because not every project needs walls to leave a mark. Some designs can thrive quietly in the background, guiding instincts and shifting aesthetics. On that note, we come to the end of this presentation of MConnect, celebrating architectural excellence and innovation. I'm Ambika Sharma. Thank you for watching.
Forbes India presents MConnect, powered by Marmo Solution.